Here we have the Moondrop SSPs. Are these a solid purchase for somebody looking to get their first set of IEMs? Just for reference, though I do know a lot about audio, I would for sure be considered a noob in the audiophile space, which is totally okay. And one last thing. I will be reviewing these from a gamer/editor perspective. So let's dive in. So the Moondrop SSP is a set of IEMs costing 40 smackaroos, with a frequency range of 20 Hz to 20 kHz, an impedance of 16 ohms at 1 kHz, and the housings are metal alloy, supposedly. So let's start with why. Why did I decide to pick these up? To be 100% honest with you, I'm just a cheap bastard, and I love budget audio equipment. When I see something like this that only costs $40 and reviewers are actually kind of excited about it, I know that I have to get my hands on it. Now we're gonna dive into my overall experience, my likes, and my dislikes. But before we do that, make sure you go ahead and drop a like and a sub. It'd be pretty cool. Now let's start with comfort, and that was without a doubt the absolute worst part of these little guys. Now one thing I did adore was this cable, which will sound very contradictory here in a second, but it's made to wrap around behind the ears, giving this almost weightless kind of feel, and I love that. Honestly, it's a lot better than just having the entire weight of the earbud actually tugging on your ears, and plus it has these nice long nozzles, so you get a really secure fit. However, here's the kicker. After about an hour or so wearing these, they really start to kind of dig into the tops of your ears, and I really think it's because of this kind of weird thick part of the coating that they added on right here. It really starts to dig in after a while. And in all honesty, I think a lighter cable probably could have resolved this. And then the second issue I have is actually with the ear tips themselves. It's kind of interesting because I normally found myself wearing the medium ear tips with almost any in-ear system, but that was not the case with these. I actually had to use the large just to have any chance of getting a good seal in my ears. And I'm not even lying to you. With the mediums and with the smalls, I literally could not keep a seal in my ears. I was losing every single bit of bass that could come through with these. But it's not all bad because I love the shape of these. They're so small, they're so light, and they vanish once you put them in your ear. It's seriously like you're not wearing anything at all. And honestly, the shape is perfect for my ears. Okay, so how about the overall build of these? And quite honestly, I am so impressed with these things. Like for $40, it's rare to find anything of this quality and this build in that price range. The only questionable part I have is that the housings are listed as being in metal alloy. They look and feel like plastic to me, but Moondrop says otherwise. You can actually see there's this little brass screw right here where you can actually disassemble these and take them apart, which is pretty cool. So here is another downside. The quality of the ear tips is pure doo-doo. It is absolute doo-doo. I mean, they feel like really cheap silicone. The inner walls are super thin. They won't grip with my ears at all. They're not comfortable after a while. It was bad. I would definitely throw some aftermarkets on these for sure. Now for the cable. And the cable did cause me a lot of discomfort, as you can see on this thicker portion right here. However, I do think the cable is pretty sick. One, it looks great with that clear coating on the coiled cable and everything like that, but just the quality of the cable in general feels really good. The length is near perfect. I don't have any worry unplugging and replugging this into the IEMs over and over like it's gonna break or snap off or anything like that, or start to loosen up. Finally, let's get to the most important part, which is sound, because who cares what they look like if they sound like doo-doo? Now, I'll talk about sound in two ways. First, with the technical aspects, and I just want to make it known, I was not using a pro amp for these. I was literally just plugging them directly into my Go XLR, which I know can hinder the audio, so chill out. But here's a frequency response chart from Crinacle's website for these IEMs, and I will have this link down below. So it is a bassier upper mid forward IEM, and most reviewers say that it does tend to get pretty shouty. Now, let's talk about it from a hands-on point of view and from the perspective of somebody that's a gamer and an editor. When it comes to gaming, I honestly felt that like these were pretty solid. I am a guy that does not like a neutral headset for gaming. I feel like it just really takes away from the sound that the devs honestly really want you to feel in a game. So with these, you get that punch in your bass, but then you have that shout in your mid, which honestly isn't bad at all in gaming. In Apex, it felt really good. Footsteps weren't quite as crisp as I would like, but to be fair, that could just be Apex and it's terrible audio sometimes. However, guns and explosions were exactly the way you want them to sound. They had that punch and they had that drive. For editing, on the other hand, they're just fine. I definitely would not prefer them for that. They're very dry sounding, and honestly, when you're trying to EQ a mic or you're trying to dial in those mic settings, it just doesn't sound right. It just sounds kind of weird, kind of a bit muffly, sort of, I don't know. I definitely did not like them for editing. I prefer a very, very natural sounding headset whenever I'm editing, and these kind of felt more like I was wearing a gaming headset. And I'm gonna get really hated for this. For music, I didn't think they were honestly terrible. Yeah, they are a little bassy. They get a little extra bass to them, but you're getting that extra punch of bass in the sub-bass region, which is pretty incredible for a $40 set of IEMs. Like, if you compare these to any gaming headset on the market, when when you're listening to music, these are gonna blow those out of the water without a doubt. So would I suggest picking up these $40 IEMs? Yes, I honestly would. I really would. I bought these on a whim. I bought these out of my own pocket. And for what they are, for a $40 set of IEMs, I think they're pretty solid, especially if you're a gamer. I think the audio is so well balanced for video games. You get that punch, you get that drive, and you get to really feel immersed in the video game. However, I do want to remind you that for half the cost, you could still get the cost KSE 75s. Review coming soon. Now, the only thing I would recommend is getting a better cable for these, but then also replacing these ear tips. These ear tips are god awful. So, but hey, you get an upgrade path with a $40 set of IEM. So if you're looking to upgrade your listening experience from just the typical gaming earbuds and gaming headphones that are out there, put these on your radar. Seriously, put these on your radar. Guys, I hope this helped you out, and as always, there will be links down below so you can check out everything mentioned in this review. And be sure you check out the Patreon, as I just added a new tier, the swag tier. We'll catch you next time.